Alright everyone, welcome back to another review, and this time I'm going to be covering Jeepers Creepers 2, the sequel to the original movie that came out in the year 2001. Sequel came out in 2003. I'm going to try and make this short and sweet because I overall don't really care for Jeepers Creepers 2. It has some improvements over the first movie, and it has some things I do like, but it also has a lot of things that I just don't like. And I'm going to do a pros and cons approach to give it a fair shake. Okay, so pro number one, production. The overall production value of this movie is slightly better over the first one, I'm gonna have to say. I think the use of practical effects are much better done in this one. The use of the minimal CG is also really done well. The overall creature design looks much better in this movie as opposed to the first movie. I think the creature design has a little bit more of a realistic take in this thing as opposed to the first movie, where it really does look like a guy in a rubber suit. This one has a slightly more realistic take to it. I also like that the creeper himself, we actually see some of the weapons that he uses, and we actually get to see some of that athletic ability he has. And Jonathan Breck, who is the creeper in both movies, to me, I think does a much better job in this one. He gives the creeper a little bit more of a personality. Of course, a lot of people compare it to Freddy Krueger, but I think it's okay. I think it's done fairly well, and Breck keeps it within the essence of the character, which I think was a good job. So, yeah, production-wise, looks fine. The creeper itself looks good, and Jonathan Breck, who I didn't praise in the first video, I'm gonna do in this one because Breck as the creeper is great. Kane Hodder is to Jason as Breck is to the creeper. They go one they go one to one with each other. So that's fine. Another positive to me, Ray Wise. I love Ray Wise. I'm a fan of Ray Wise's work, and to me, he gives this movie some much needed credibility as the farmer. And I also like the little plot that he has. He has like a revenge thing going on, because in the opening prologue, the creeper actually kills his youngest son, and throughout the movie, Ray Wise's character is on a hunt to get the creeper. So I like how they gave it more of a personal story to it. It's pretty much Ray Wise and his older son out to get revenge. So that stuff I like. I like the whole thing of, I kind of sort of like the stuff of the whole school bus and being confined to a small space. Again, get that sense of claustrophobia. I thought that was pretty good. Victor Salva's direction, as I said, I liked it in the first one, and it's no different in this one. His visual style is really solid, and his writing is okay. In this one, it's okay because we get to a negative. Aside from Ray Wise, a lot of the characters in this movie are just flat out cardboard, generic cutouts of your stereotypical high school teens. And to me, none of them stand out. I mean, the acting is serviceable, but their characters are so underdeveloped and thinly written that they just have bare bones. It's just bare bones, the racist white boy, the token black characters, the token cheerleader characters. They're just stock, and it brings the movie down a lot because overall, I don't care about any of these kids. I really don't, because they don't stand out to me at all. I care about Ray Wise's character because he has a purpose. These kids, they have no purpose. Therefore, I don't care when the creeper starts picking them off one by one. Though, I am not going to lie, one of my favorite scenes in this movie is where the creeper starts picking out the kids that he wants to kill. I love that scene because you get to see a lot of the creeper's personality, which I thought was good. But again, the kids are so stock. They're so generic and so one-dimensional. No personalities. And it's just boring. But a lot of the practical effects scenes I do like. There is this one cool scene where the creeper breaks away from this truck and it just starts flipping on the road, and you can tell, and it was done in camera, practical effect, and it looked great. There are some pretty cool kills in this thing. There's this one scene where like the creeper's wings, engulfs this one of the characters and then rips his head off, which I thought was pretty cool. I liked how we could see the utilizations of his weaponry. Derry makes a little cameo as one of the characters starts to daydream about the creeper or shit like that. And we find out she's psychic and don't know how she got that way. Whatever. But it's good. It's good to see Justin Long in a nice little cameo in this movie. Of course, he's the only character that does return because Trisha and Giselle, they're nowhere to be found. This movie takes place, I think, about 2 days after the previous movie. So, yeah. That's actually pretty much it. I got nothing else to say about this movie. This movie is stock. To me, it's an unnecessary sequel. It has some good stuff in it, but again, its biggest flaw is that its characters are very underwritten, and it's the characters that we spend the most time with, which are the characters on the school bus, and they're extremely underwritten and they're so stock that I just don't care about any of them. And to me, Ray Wise and Jonathan Breck are the saving graces of this movie, because without them, this movie would have been... So with all that being said, I'm going to be generous and I'm going to give this movie a 6.5 out of 10. Ray Wise and Jonathan Breck, the direction and the production value bring it to a 6.5. The rest of it, and the reason why I can't go above 6.5, is like I said, uninspired, stock, generic characters, especially in a horror movie like this, because, Trish and Derry were interesting characters because they were brother and sisters, and most of us have siblings, so we're able to connect to those two. In this movie, it's really hard to connect to these stock high schoolers. That's just me personally. Well, those are my thoughts on Jeepers Creepers 2. Like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to check out my review to the first Jeepers Creepers movie, I'll put a link in the description box below. Until then, take care, guys.